Opening hook. Hello everyone, it is Saturday, it is the 6th of June I believe, and welcome back to Locking In. It's been a couple of days since the end of the last episode as I am filming this at least anyway. So the last episode ended on Wednesday, just gone there. And it was good, it was fun, I had a really nice productive week. But then I've just had a couple of busy days in work and real life stuff, so I've not actually had time to focus on my other sort of endeavours that I'm trying to focus on in this series. But I've started today a little bit. I've already done a couple of things today that I've shot and filmed, so a little bit chronologically out of order. But yeah, welcome to week 3. I've had a few days, or over the last few days, sorry, I've just had my dinner, and it's kind of coming back at the same time. Over the last few days, even though I've not been able to physically do stuff in terms of making progress, I've had some time to think about what my priority should be for the next week or so. And I did mention towards the end of last week that I kind of want to do some TCG content, which I've already done technically, that you'll see in the next clip, so it's again a little bit out of order. So I've already started putting stuff on Instagram for that, and I think for the rest of the week I want to focus on actually getting the rest of that video content edited and up on the channel, or at least scheduled on the respective channel, just so that's done and it's dusted and I can get all the files off my fucking Osmo, and all that sort of stuff as well. So that is one of the priorities for this week, and we're still halfway through the running vlog, which is quite exciting. But randomly on Thursday I woke up and my heel on my right foot was killing me. It was so sore, it was really painful. I have no idea why. Yesterday was really sore as well, no idea why, and I thought, oh no, I've injured myself, I've got something that's going to be, ongoing for a bit and it's going to be really, really sucky. And then I woke up today, being Saturday, and it's fine. It's completely fine. It's completely healed, seemingly, so everything's still back up and running. And yeah, I'm going to continue with the running vlog over the weekend, and I'm going to go out a run tomorrow, which will be nice. So if you want to see the running content, then there will be a short form for the run that I do tomorrow, as well as the weekly vlog, which will be out in the following days as well. So it should already be out by the time that you're watching this. Again, everything will be linked down below if you want to see it. But yeah, those are the two main priorities for this week: the TCG stuff, the running stuff, and then I've got a few other bits and pieces that I kind of need to turn my attention to as we progress over the next few days. Stay tuned for that. Now, some of those things, sorry, I just realised you can see the screen, I've got a Dead by Daylight stream on the background as well, but I realised that some of those things is a little bit more admin sort of thing. Like, again, I've got all these plates that I'm trying to spin, that's a whole theme, that's a red thread throughout the entirety of this project and these videos, that all my sort of login information and details information about backups and authenticators and all that sort of stuff, boring admin type of things, are kind of all over the place in some capacity. I've got a document here that's, got bits and pieces, and then some things are on this phone, then some things are on my work phone, some things are on a different email and all that sort of thing. So I think I need to take a couple of, maybe just an hour or two on Monday, to just kind of work through that a little bit and just say, right, these are all the outlets that I kind of want to, balance, and all the channels that I want to balance, and all the different social accounts and projects that I want to balance. How do they link? How do I back them up? All that sort of thing. So that's just basic, boring admin stuff that's important. So that needs to be done on Monday or Tuesday this week as well. So that's going to be, a task that I'll tick off in the next couple of days. And then, I need to be honest with you. I need to be honest with you. This weekend, if you are, into games and that sort of thing, this weekend every year is like the big sort of gaming fest thing. So we've already had, at the time of recording, we've already had Sony's State of Play, and last night was Summer Game Fest, and then tomorrow is the Xbox Showcase, and I love games. That's one of the reasons that I'm kind of doing this, and try to balance different things. I love talking about games, I love just chatting about games. But, there's a space for that, or there should be a space for that. My personal social media accounts, that's not really the space for it. The main channel is about gaming, but it's not really about chatting about games and that sort of thing. So I might have started a new channel. I might have, added more plate or extra plate to spin. So I've started the social media accounts, and then I thought, why don't I make like a weekly podcast where I just sit down for half an hour and just chat into the aether about everything that's maybe happened over the past few days. I don't know how it's going to evolve. It kind of came from all the announcements at Summer Game Fest last night. Resident Evil Veronica, Final Fantasy VII Part 3 and everything, and I thought, I just want to chat about them. I want to put stuff out in the world, and I want to let people know, what I think about these things. So on a whim, I made an Instagram page. Speaking it out loud is just but we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's going to be too much. Maybe it's going to be the straw that broke this old Scottish camel's back, or maybe it's just going to be something that I kind of go over in the next couple of days. But we'll wait and see what happens. Again, I'm thinking about maybe doing a short one-person podcast every week or every 2 weeks about all the gaming industry news and things. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Maybe it's too much. Maybe it's not. But I'm adding to the load, potentially unnecessarily. But yeah, that's something that I thought I would share with you for full honesty and transparency. I hope you're not mad. So, as part of having, the priorities for this week being some of the TCG content and getting that over the line, like I mentioned in the previous episode, I kind of want to take a slightly different approach, or test a slightly different content approach with like carousel stuff on Instagram, where it's like, open this with me, and then you swipe to the next one and it's a pack, and then swipe to the next one, then it's, the hits of that pack, etc. And I do want to do it with the Deadpool cards that I showed you in the last video, but I thought I'd do a nice test and learn with one of the new Pokemon tins that I just got yesterday. So today's Saturday for context. These came out yesterday, and it has one pack of Perfect Order and one pack of Chaos Rising in it. So I'm going to try it in this new format. I'm going to maybe show you me trying to film it or whatever, but it's going to be just pictures on Instagram. Again, everything will be linked in the description down below, but I'm going to use this as a test and learn to see how it goes before I actually start opening bigger and slightly more interesting pieces of TCG content. So yeah, let's see how this goes. So today is Monday, the 15th of June, and I've not done anything over the past week for two main reasons, if I'm going to be completely honest. I will not bore you with the details, but the two main reasons are my daughter was unexpectedly quite unwell for a few days towards the beginning to middle of last week, which obviously my family takes priority, and then it semi-slipped my mind, but semi-didn't. But me and my girlfriend then had a long weekend away, a bit of a staycation, and I thought, you know what, I'm actually going to tune out of everything, not just this, but my actual 9 to 5, if you like, and actually enjoy myself and try and unwind and make it as, as relaxing as possible, which it was. And now I'm back, and today is Monday, and I'm going to get back into the swing of things. Now, got a bit of a dilemma that I'm going to struggle, not a dilemma, but a bit of a problem, or not so much a problem, but just a quirk, if you like, is that, the thing that I wanted to do, and the thing that I'm going to continue to do, is to make these clips and then add them into the timeline of the edit as and when it happens. Because I haven't done anything in about a week, I forget what the last clip that I said was. I knew my priorities for the week, and I kind of knew what I needed to do all up, but I cannot remember the last thing that I saw, and I could go back and watch it. I understand that, but I'm too focused on just getting things done, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to kind of wing it. But this is where this daily planner comes in. Now, one thing that I do need to do is get better at actually writing out my priorities and what I want to achieve for the day, the week, the month, or the video that you're watching here as well. But what I'm also going to use this for is an actual planner for each video. So I'm going to write the title for the video, or do a very basic plot outline of kind of what I want to do and kind of what I want to cover. And then once I've ticked off each scene, if you like, I can write what the last thing was that I spoke about and the date beside it and things as well. So I'm not repeating myself too much. And it makes the flow and the cohesiveness of these videos as best as they possibly can be. But again, I digress. That's a problem that I need to sort for my own sort of organisation, but also for your viewing pleasure, everyone. So thank you for bearing with me. thus far. Now, from what I remember, my priorities for the week that I still want to achieve is getting all the TCG content out there. I've done some of the stuff on the Instagram carousel things. I need to do some of the video stuff, which I'm going to do today. All my files and things have been organised, which is nice, and a lot of the podcast stuff has been done as well in terms of templates and thumbnails and social posts and that sort of thing as well. When we were away, me and my girlfriend, we discussed the logistics of the podcast because, like I've mentioned a couple of times on this series itself, we've been trying to bring it back over the past 2 or 3 weeks. We normally film on a Monday night into a Tuesday morning, and that sort of, or like a Monday night, so it's ready for a Tuesday morning. That doesn't really work with our current situation in terms of, again, just, you know, responsibilities and life and balance and all that sort of thing, and just how, you know, we're quite tired at the minute, you know, based on everything else that's going on. So we're going to pivot that to a Thursday afternoon because we both work from home on a Thursday afternoon, which is really nice. We can take an hour out our day for our lunch and record the podcast, and then that means it's ready for the weekend. So again, today's Monday. The first episode of the podcast is going to come back on Thursday, or it's going to be recorded on Thursday, and it's going to be in your inboxes if you want to subscribe and that sort of thing on Friday morning. So yeah, again, I'll show you a little bit behind the scenes because I'm going to take this video for the next calendar week, if you like, the next Monday to Sunday at the minute. That may change. But anyway, that's the new plan for the podcast, and that's going to happen as of this week. And it's still going to be every fortnightly from there on, but it should just make recording and the logistics of things that little bit easier, that little bit more hands-off, and it should just, you know, the flow of content should just be a bit more smoother and natural and consistent. That's the word that I'm looking for. So yeah, feeling quite good about that, feeling quite happy with that, and that's the main thing as well. I've done a little bit of a rebrand on the Cinnamon Chicken channel, and it's not because I was bored, it's kind of because I was needed, and it kind of came to me that, you know, when I was doing it, that all my channels kind of need a bit of a refresh in terms of the branding. You know, some of them are about me, you know, the spotlight's on me and it's my personality and what I talk about and what I want to do. Cinnamon Chicken is about, you know, food. The podcast is a podcast, you know, the TCG stuff is the TCG stuff and everything else in between. So yeah, I kind of need to do that. So Cinnamon Chicken now has actual branding, if you like, or at least the first step at branding, a V1. It could use with some tweaks and some nuance, and things will change over the coming weeks and months, if not, you know, continuously at some point. But the branding is a bit more sort of channel friendly as opposed to just being a picture of a cinnamon bun. It could be your mum on Facebook, you know, that sort of thing. So that's good. I'm going to take the rest of, you know, the next couple of days to kind of do a bit of a rebrand across the board. Some of the channels that I've got share a profile photo, that sort of thing. Some of the headers are a bit outdated because I used to stream and all that sort of thing as well. So that's the next thing on my list. And again, that's also where this daily planner comes in. I bought this, I've not used it as of yet, but I'm going to actually use this to make a priority list moving forward. So that's going to be on there as well. And then what else? Oh, the last thing I remember telling you, actually, it just came to mind, is that I started a new channel. I spun a new plate, and it was all about gaming news and that sort of thing, where I just have a platform and a space to chat about what I want to do with gaming. The plan was to do a very short podcast on Wednesday, just gone, where I chat about everything that I want to talk about, but again, things kind of got in the way. I am continuing that because, you know, I'm just going to post about games when things excite me, which is nice. But the actual evolution of that, we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. If I do want to make things more of a podcast, or just make it a nice outlet where I can just throw together a nice asset and just put that out there to share my thoughts and feelings on news that's dropped, the latest games that have released, that sort of thing. So we'll wait and see. That's still in the books, but it's still quite in its infancy at the minute. Quite a lot to talk about there. I was catching you up. I was catching myself up as well as I was catching you up. So yeah, the next things that I need to do over the next few days that you're going to see from me at random points. So, the running channel as well. I was supposed to start my new running vlogging series last week, but again, what happened to this channel also happened to that channel in terms of pushing things back. But I have started recording this week, so Monday through Sunday, and it's going to be my training plan for the next big run that I've got in the middle of July. So that is currently underway. That's fine. That was just pushed back by a week. And I'm going to do some runs this week as well because I kind of need to catch up on that plan at the same time. So priorities for me this week is continue with the running vlog. That should kind of take care of itself as and when. And there's going to be short form running content on that channel as and when I do runs as well. So there's going to be at least 2 videos on that channel this week. And then a third, which is going to be a long form at the end of the week as well. So stay tuned for that. I then need to do a bit of a brand refresh and organisation across the board. It's not going to be perfect by the end of this week, but if at least I can kind of outline and identify what needs done, then that's going to be a bonus as well. I need to get some of the TCG content out, some of the video content out, so 1, I can actually get it out there, and 2, I can delete it off my Osmo and clear up some space because I've got so many files on there that that's going to make things that little bit easier at the same time. And then I just need to continue down and get a bit more organised in terms of my thoughts, my feelings, my to-do list, my priorities and all that sort of thing. And yeah, and then the podcast on Thursday as well. So there's actually quite a lot of things to do. Quite a lot. Should be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be manageable. It's going to be tackleable. Is that a word? It's going to be fine to tackle. Again, today's Monday. I'm off today, which is nice. So I can actually take the afternoon to organise my thoughts and feelings and get some things sorted. But then it's back to work tomorrow. But yeah, I'll check in with you randomly throughout the week as and when I'm doing things or when things have been ticked off. But for the rest of today, I'm going to organise my thoughts and feelings into my daily planner, go my run in the evening when it's a little bit cooler, and then get that content ready for shipping as well. So yeah, lots of moving parts, lots of things to do, but I'm back after a week and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling rested and I'm feeling motivated to get things done. So yeah, onwards and upwards. So, free the hair day, that's why I'm not wearing a hat. Can't remember what you saw last time. It is Monday the 22nd of June, so it's the end of this week, so start of the new week, which kind of blurring the lines a little bit. And I thought I'd try and be as organised as I possibly can. I found my pencil case with all my highlighters literally from high school or uni, one of the two, which is many, many years ago. The fact that they're still working is a miracle in and of itself. But yeah, love the book, don't love how faint the lines are, but that's a me problem. Anyway, kept to it, everyone. Highlighted green stuff for stuff that is done, highlighted yellow stuff for things that are semi-done that are going to carry on into next week. But some of the stuff that I get done, so I've planned quite a lot of main channel content in terms of what I want to do. So I've got 3 long form videos that I want to do and a couple of short form videos. So the short form stuff will come out a lot quicker, which is nice. And as of this week, I'm going to actually start doing one of the long form contents, which I'll talk about in next week's video. But it is something to do with Pokemon, gaming, you know, childhood dreams, that sort of thing. The stuff that's carrying over into next week is some of the admin stuff. So the accounting, login admin, the channel branding audit. And I've half done the TCG pools edit. I'm going to finish them like I've said many, many times, but I'm not going to do any more after that. I'm going to just let that be an engine room type of thing. Purely because, you know, it's, again, hard to get TCG stuff, even though I'm branching into Magic the Gathering and other bits and pieces. And, you know, I found myself just yesterday, actually, I was just, you know, scrolling through the feed and scrolling through shots and whatnot, and I came across some of the channels that got me into the idea of making unboxing content that I maybe hadn't watched in a couple of days, if not a few weeks or a month or two properly, and I found myself scrolling past them. So not only is the market oversaturated and it's something that, you know, a lot of people can and should be doing if that's what they're passionate about, I just found myself bored of that kind of content, and I thought, well, if I'm bored, why would I force myself to make that type of content? So again, I'm going to finish what I've got since I've recorded it and it's all partially edited to some of the script, but beyond that, I'll see how I feel as time goes on. But anyway, that week is done. I'm going to move on to a new page of this book. Again, I'm going to stick with it since I paid fucking 15 quid for it. But yeah, I'm feeling quite good in terms of what the plan is, what my next move is, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. These videos are going to be a bit more regular than the gap between last one and this one, just because, again, all the things that have kind of happened, i.e. holidays, illnesses, that sort of thing. And I'm going to try and make them a bit more fun visually and a bit more engaging and just, you know, something you want to sit down and watch with your dinner or your tea or whatever it is. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you're new here, you're more than welcome to subscribe. I'm not sure if I've got links in the description quite as of yet, because I forgot that you need to either build up channel history, even though I've got like tons of channels with like really good sub counts, or you need to verify your ID, which I cannot be bothered doing at this moment in time. So I'm hoping by the time this one goes out, I will have active links in the description. Things will be in the description, so check them out anyway. And, you know, they will be retroactively active at some point as well. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know your passions. Let me know what your current goals and objectives and dreams and all that good stuff are. And I'll see you next time for, you know, the next episode or video or vlog or whatever it is of locking in. Again, I know what I need to start doing. And the fact that TCG is, I've kind of made my mind up about that. That is a plate that's just going to spin, but I'm not going to pay too much attention to, which is nice. But anyway, my name is Sam. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time for more fun bits and pieces, hopefully. Yeah, stay cool, stay hydrated, avoid the heat, and yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye.